Hey, hi, hello, welcome back, Alexandrian Codex. We, gonna do some more Alone in the Dark stuff today. Why? Because it was fun. Because it was fun. It was fun, and, in watching over the video as I do when I upload and proof things for upload, I realized, Jesus, Alex, you really should have done some more downtime actions, because you still have rep to burn, still have coin to burn, and there's some resources that would be really quite valuable to get back. So let's consider this an extended part of the downtime. Particularly, we need to use some downtime actions to reduce heat. So let's take a look at reduce heat. Hectyr, Svensson, and Hectyr and the boys. Hectyr and the boys have 8 heat, 4 coin, and 4 rep. Hectyr himself still has 3 coin, so this is probably, we're immediately reducing this by 1 coin. What's Hectyr doing to reduce heat? I mean, if we're just spending coin, bribes. Obviously, like bribes. He's not he's not a complicated man. I mean, he might be a complicated man, but like it's just bribes, right? Like I think maybe command, like threatening or intimidating people not to talk. I think to start with, probably, yeah, command. Yeah, kind of leaning on people to not talk. Yeah. God damn it, am I gonna fucking sneeze or not? This is controlled, standard, no bonus die, yeah. 5. Okay, reduces it by 2. That's very little. Oh god, okay, well, I'm still not comfortable with that, so we'll spend another coin. Do it again. Do it again. Please. Please. Alright, and then, you know what, let's spend the last of his coin to do it again. Yeah. Yeah, we just gotta burn as much of this heat away. Now I still have 4 rep to burn and 4 coin to burn, but the coin we have in our crew and the rep we have in our crew are going to be used to advance the crew. He still has light bruising, he still has some stress. Now, I've spent everything I can possibly in good conscience spend. We have no real choice but to go for our next job, and I know what the next score is. Honestly, it's not as ambitious as last time. This is going to be a shorter score, and I think we might be doing it without getting paid. We're killing the crows. Hectyr's follow-up is gotta be to kill the crows. Why? Because we're at war with the crows, and being at war means that we are in terrible shape with downtime activities. And in fact, let's say we're at war as of the end of downtime, because hold on. Let's stop with that revisionism and first look up what exactly war does, because I might have given myself a free action I shouldn't have had if we're at war. War. What is it good for? Complicating situations. War. War. When your faction is at war, see page 46. War. A faction will go out of its way to hurt you, even if it's not in their best interest. They expect you to do the same. Take precaution against you. When you're at war, any number of factions, you get +1 heat from score, lose 1 hold. PCs only get 1 downtime action rather than 2. You can end a war by eliminating your enemy or negotiating mutual agreement to establish a new status rating. Okay, so that heat comes back because this last command I didn't count. We needed to spend coin. I'd given myself, listen, alright, it's early. I'd given myself 1 more downtime action than I should have had if we're at war. And this is just gonna complicate shit moving forward. We've just gotta nip this in the bud. Hectyr is not a merciful man. So, yeah, the job is to hunt down and kill the 3 remaining. 3 remaining crows. So, what's the first problem here? Am I doing any prep work for this? Nah, man. That's the plan. Hunt them down, kill them. It's pretty simple. So let's do an engagement roll and get into it. Alright, engagement roll, fortune roll. 1 die for luck. Is it daring or bold? I dare say it is. Is it complicated or contingent on many factors? It's not complex, and it's not contingent on too many factors, but I'm wavering on that, maybe. Does it expose a vulnerability? I mean, they're weak. We just tore their gang apart, so yeah, I think it exposes a vulnerability. Are friends or contacts providing aid or insight? I don't think so. I think we're going solo on this one. Are enemies or rivals interfering? Yes, they don't want to die. Are they a lower tier? No, they're a higher tier. Any other elements? I think just the fictional positioning of last time. I think that's 2 against 3, 4. So yeah, just 1 die. Oh God. Okay, that's terrible. That's terrible. That's beautiful. Okay. Let's talk about the engagement roll. A 1 means that we're met with immediate complication, but I want to look specifically at what this says, guys. I've never opened on a failure before. Engagement roll 8, 9, 127, 128. Right. Item loadouts. Choose a load. Light. I am perpetually light load. Engagement roll. Outcomes. We start in a desperate position. Okay. I think they strike first. I think the 3 remaining crows, knowing that Hectyr is bound to hunt them down by reputation, by everything else, they've struck first. So let's engage with the Alone in the Dark narrative tools to come up with how they struck first. I have some ideas, like maybe they're trying to kill him in his sleep, set fire to his home, ambush him in the street. I don't know. There's a lot of ways this could go, so let's play into this. 562. I know it's 592, but we round everything over 6 down to 6. 562. Shield. And 123. That looks like a fur or something that has been skinned. What? What? Nope. Nope. I got nothing. I'm thinking like shield, maybe like the shield has like they've gotten protection somewhere. But we're starting out in a desperate position because they're striking first, so those two don't really mix. Like maybe they've gotten protection from someone else, so there's more of them. Yeah, maybe they've hired on some thugs. Sure, but that doesn't really point to the skinning part. Maybe. Actually, it kind of does. It kind of does. Billhooks. Tough gang of thugs who wield hatchets and meat hooks. I think they've gotten on some billhooks to bolster their numbers. So they and how many of the billhooks? I don't know. Is it the whole gang? Is it just a few of them? I hope it's only a few of them. But I'm feeling pretty 50-50 on this. Okay, I got a 6. So I think it's... We got a yes and. I think it's only a few of them. I think... 3. 3 more. They've doubled their number. They've gotten a few more boys. But these billhooks aren't loyal. Right, they'll help, but they're not going to rush into the foray first. So, okay, alright, so that's why it's desperate. They've hired on some help, and they're striking first. How are they striking first, though? Let's go back to these Oracle dies and try to imagine how they're hitting us first. 413, Crow. Okay, 282. Is that a seagull or a crow? I think that's a seagull, honestly. 262. Crown. No, all that's reading to me is that they go to authorities. Our layer is hidden, and we're staying there. So we're probably getting ambushed from leaning on people. The last thing we did was go out and lean on people trying to use our command to make sure the folks nearby shut the fuck up and don't talk to the cops. So I think we get jumped there. Yeah, I think Hectyr is out alone. Because he's leaning on people, he's overconfident, we've just had a very successful mission. He's thinking about... I've got to track these guys down, because otherwise this is just going to get worse. But they get to Hectyr first. God, of course I closed that by accident. Yeah, they get to Hectyr first. So he's ambushed in a dark alley, dark, dirty alley by moonlight. You know, probably one of these old guard crows steps out of the shadow saying like something really cliche. You should have killed me when you had the chance, Hectyr. And then I think one of the other crows comes up from behind, about to like knock Hectyr over the head. Hectyr turns and starts to grapple with them, and then realizes it's not just like 2 of them or 3 of them, or fucking 6 of them and 1 of him. How's he resisting? My dude's using skirmish. Alright? he's very simple. Potency? We've been ambushed? Well, okay. We're skirmishing? It's desperate. We start out in a desperate position. Potency, I've been ambushed. They're no longer of a higher quality or tier. I'm treating this as crows. Sure, they have a couple bill hooks with them, but they're still crows. So they're tier 1, I'm tier 0, but I have a fine hand weapon, so that moves me up to the same tier. So that's standard. Scale, they outnumber me. So I think limited effect here. Yeah. Bonus die? Yeah, he's pushing himself. He's minimally at least pushing himself because he's being ambushed in an alley and fighting for his life, as far as he's aware. Yeah, that's all I got, man. Deal Devil's Bargain, like... You fight back, but it causes a scene, resulting in heat. You know what? Yeah, let's just immediately take a Devil's Bargain to get some light harm. Cuts and scrapes. He didn't... He was ambushed, right? He is going to get hurt by this person who got the jump on him, and these people ganging up on him. He's just hoping to subdue someone, to fight back somehow. So I think he's letting himself get a little hurt here. Okay, we got a 6. We did roll in a desperate position, so that puffs up our prowess a little bit. Now we gotta make a clock. We gotta make a 6-tier clock? I think so. I think it's finally time for a 6-tier clock. Why a 6-tier clock, Alex? Because there's 6 of them. There are 6 of them. Where is my text? There we go. Pro ambush. So what does a success look like? It's a limited success. So let's think about that. Limited success. It's not very exciting. Desperate. We did it. Limited is you achieve a partial or weak effect. But it's 1 tick on here. It's 1 tick on the clock. So one of them is subdued. You know, Hectyr lashes out, you know, rage, screaming bloody murder, or maybe like growling more than screaming. I'm imagining a very, like, a bestial reaction. You know, it's limited. He's hurt 1 guy, taken 1 guy out of the fight, but he's gotten hurt himself, he's exerted himself, and there's still 5 of them coming in. He hasn't cleared the situation, he hasn't run away, he hasn't gotten any forward momentum, he has stalled their momentum, though. Now, I think that's the real achievement here, is he's stalled their momentum. And how is he gonna respond? He's gonna use skirmish. What's his position? Not good, dude. I think it's still kind of desperate. It's risky or desperate. Yeah, it's not risky. I was saying risky when it was a 1-on-1. It's a 5-on-1. It's desperate. Effect? Potency? They no longer have their ambush going for them. I think this is an even fight as far as potency goes. Quality, still on par. Scale, though, I think we're still at limited effect because it's a 5-on-1 fight. And if he had... What is this? Oh yeah, not to be trifled with? He could engage a small gang on equal footing in close combat. He does not have that. Hectyr is still very outnumbered here. Limited, I think he's going to push himself. Going to eat as much stress as it can to get a bonus die. I don't think I'd be willing to accept a harm here. Our heat is already pretty high, so I don't want to do that. Yeah, I think just the one bonus die. Okay, 6. Another success. It's still desperate, so we mark another XP. This gets ticked a little further. You know, he lashes out at the closest one, knocking them back, maybe knocking them unconscious, or like throwing them away. He's trying to stop from getting cornered, but he's in an alley. There's still 4 of them on their feet. One's on the ground bleeding out. The other isn't moving anymore, but they're closing in, and he's got to keep moving. He's got to keep some space between him and his attackers to be able to move, because if he fails, if they are able to box him in, they can just pin him down, and there's no way he can win at that point. He's still got positioning working for him, but it's rapidly going away. Yeah. So he's still fighting. It's still desperate position. The effect is still limited. Like, nothing has changed. He's taken a few of them out, but it's still 4-on-1. It's still very tough odds. I think bonus dice, because of the situation I just described, maybe a devil's bargain here could be... Where are we dropping? Who we choking? Is it in a sexual manner? Hectyr got ambushed by the remaining crows while he was trying to intimidate people not to talk to the cops. The remaining crows hired on a little muscle, and so now he's just trying to survive being ambushed in a back alley. What I described was he's really trying to use his position, right? Trying to keep space between them. Maybe a devil's bargain is that space runs out. That he gets a little bit of a boost here. I wouldn't take that. Honestly, no, I'm not taking that. He is in bad shape here. No, I'm not taking that. No devil's bargains. And we finally get a mixed success. We finally get a 4. So let's start out here. It's desperate for the 3rd time in a row, so we'll mark another XP. There's only 3 of them left. But I finally start taking some fucking consequences. Damn it. I suffer a serious consequence. A severe problem, 2 ticks, or 2 heat, 3 ticks on a severe problem. I could also take serious harm. No. No. All right, severe problem. Oh, we already have one. Multi-sided, two-sided. So 3 ticks on this 4-tick clock. What clock is this? Pinned down. Hectyr's very close to being pinned. He's taken out another one, but he's cornered. And it's really close quarters fighting at this point. It's going to be really difficult for him to not get dragged to the ground. Yeah, he's in really bad shape, but he's not pinned yet. He's about to be. Like, literally one more tick on this and he's pinned, and not great. Position, it's still desperate. He's still outnumbered. He's still fighting for his life. It's still desperate, and I think it's still limited effect. I think we're still rolling like the worst combination we can because potency is like leaning against him, if anything. He's fighting back. He's taken half of them out. There's only so much one man can do. And quality, is tied. In scale, there's still more of them. So limited effect here. Bonus die? I literally can't come up with anything. Except like taking harm, but that's not worth it, I think. Okay, thank God that's a success. Oh my God, I'm a fool. I'm a fool! These successes? No, they're limited effect. Damn it. Now it's a 2-on-1. It's a 2-on-1. There's 2 crows left. He hasn't gotten completely boxed in or pinned down. He has cuts and scrapes. He's bruised. But no debilitating injuries. Nothing that'll hamper his ability to perform here. Just gotta keep fighting. Just gotta keep fighting. Still desperate. It's a 2-on-1. Effect is still limited. It's a 2-on-1, but we're way closer to being standard here. Bonus die? No. 6. Jesus. You're right. I am playing with loaded dice. This is bullshit. This has been a very difficult situation for him to be in. He's a monster, right? Like, these crows ambushed him in a smoke-filled, dark alley with mercenaries carrying meat hooks. Thinking, you know, this one washed-up former soldier couldn't possibly stand against 6 of them. Now, I think they get, like, a garrote around its neck to start out with, which is where the cuts and scrapes came from. He manages to, like, flip that guy over his head, snap his neck. Then the whole gang comes at him, like, throws another one back, knocking them unconscious or breaking their neck against, like, a barrel or a wooden crate or something. And he manages to pull out his knife and start, like, actually cutting and fighting back. And within short moments, what seemed like a sure, easy way to take out the leader of Hectyr's boys. It's the last crow, I think like the oldest crow, the most senior member of the crows, staring down at Hectyr in this dark alleyway. Very, like, we're seeing silhouettes of figures. I think the color scheme is, like, all, like, blues and really cold colors to, you know, obviously if it's a TV show, which is how we're supposed to imagine this, it's dark and, you know, it's lit enough that we can see what the fuck we're looking at, but the color scheme is trying to relay to us that it's really dark. And we get a very anime moment, right? The two kind of staring each other down. And Hectyr probably delivers some stupid fucking corny one-liner, just how this all started. Like, you shouldn't have underestimated us, Hectyr. He probably turns around, and if we're doing this in a cliche action movie kind of way, you shouldn't have underestimated me, and then, like, lets out a growling roar, and then attacks. Position is risky. It's no longer desperate. It's a one-on-one. Effect, standard. Potency, I'd say we have a psychological advantage in potency. He's just killed 5 men. Quality is tied. Scale is tied. Duskwall. Duskwall. The name of the city is Duskwall. It's like Dunwall from Dishonored, but dusk because it's night all the time. I think we have great effect here. Bonus die? No. No. You got a 4, so we succeed in this. But, there's a but. There's a complication. An immediate problem has 2 ticks or 1 heat. I'll think about the immediate problem. I think the immediate problem changes. Oh no, I know what the immediate problem is. Okay, 2 ticks on this, so this is back down to 1, but it's changed from pinned down to crows and wardens. Crow ambush has been dealt with. He's standing over these bodies, catching his breath, covered in blood, his own and other people's. And then we hear, just like we did at the end of the last episode, after all the killing was done and like the blood pumping in people's ears was no longer the dominant thing they were hearing, you hear that ethereal bell ringing, sound of distant crows approaching, and now Hectyr's gotta fucking run. He's gotta get the hell out of there. So he's gonna prowl. Position is controlled right now, but it's not over. Effect is standard, because, you know, he has an advantage. They're not here yet. Quality, huge disadvantage. Scale, they're not here yet, so that cancels each other out in my mind. Standard. Yep. It's always night. Yeah, it's the sun in this setting. The sun got destroyed 850 years ago at the same time at this cataclysm that literally destroyed the gates to the afterlife. So when people die, they don't go anywhere. Their ghosts just kind of linger and haunt the planet. Planet's haunted. There's no sun anymore. At sunrise and sunset, there are instead like glimmers of embers of a dying sun that you can see distantly on the horizon that slowly just flitter out and fade. It's a very dark setting. Very cool. But I think, yeah, input value, standard. Bonus type, no bonuses here. He gets away, but what? What's the but here? What is the mitigating effect? Yeah, seriously, how the food chain works without a sun? Magic. There's some bullshit about injecting plants and animals with electroplasm. It's not ectoplasm, it's called electroplasm because it's like electric ghost blood in this setting. Injecting ghost blood into living plants and animals makes them bioluminescent and release ultraviolet radiation. So UV radiation injected like eels and trees are now how crops are raised, through electric eel like aquifer systems. This is early Victorian, so there's electricity, but it's all run on demon blood instead of oil. So you can still have greenhouses and things like that, but the world population is very small, right? The vast majority of people live off of mushrooms and seaweed and bugs, right? It's very dystopian. Only the rich people actually get like vegetables and real meat and stuff like that. John Harper, in creating the setting, gets into it a little bit, but it is a fantasy setting, and we do have to suspend some disbelief there because it's not realistic. Yeah. But, yeah, it also makes you wonder, like, why isn't the planet frozen over? How is the atmosphere holding on to that much heat if it's not getting solar radiation anymore? Like, there's a lot of ways you could be like, well, the physics don't work, because they don't. But yeah, there's a lot of magic science shenanigans just for the edge factor of it. Exactly. Yeah. But it's intentional. It's intentional, and it's owned up to. The setting prior to the sun being destroyed was like a high magic setting, like Dungeons and Dragons, where, you know, you can do literally fucking anything with magic. That was the setting. And then something, presumably magic, destroyed like everything, and this is the consequences of it. So magic is still in the world and can do crazy physics-breaking shit. I don't know what the last complication here is. I need a clean success to get away, or to just eat some consequence. The consequence here is heat. I think it has to be heat. that in all the yelling, in all the fighting, Hector's name must have gotten out. Yeah, I think we just eat a heat on this. I think we have to. There's no way I can justify this otherwise. Yeah. Magic destroys everything, and now the sun is killed makes you think of Golden Sun. It's been a long time since I thought of Golden Sun. I think we end there. I think that's the end of the score for today. It's pretty simple. I mean, that was 40 minutes, 35 minutes, but I don't see a way to further complicate that or drag that out. Honestly, that would have taken longer if everything had gone according to plan, because according to plan, I would have had to gather information on where they were, hunt them down individually, fight them individually, hide the bodies or deal with the bodies individually, but instead, by starting in a desperate position, with Hector getting ambushed, it did raise the stakes a lot, and Hector had to deal with it all at once, but yeah. 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 I played the Game Boy Advance Golden Sun games. I don't remember them very well. I guess we just go into downtime now? Yeah. I guess I do. That was a very short job. I just can't think of any way to drag that out more. Give me downtime. Payoff. There's no payoff here. This was a personal vendetta in order to stop being at war and protect himself. So I guess first thing is rep. We get 2 rep default just for having a job. They were 1 tier higher than us. I guess it's 2 coin. It's a minor job. We can justify that in saying that that's the coin that Hector found on the bodies. He took a moment to, you know what, let's justify that in play. Position, controlled, effects standard, bonus die none. Yeah, okay. So he took a minute to frisk the bodies for coin, and that would have ticked the clock up by 1, but he didn't fail enough that the Ravens and Spirit Wardens would have gotten there. That's fine. So that works. That works. It's got a couple of coin. Minor job. Yup. Heat. No one lived who knew it was Hector. I think that was as smooth and quiet as that was gonna go. Contained, maybe. Was it a high-profile, well-connected target? They were when we went after them. At this point, it was 3 has-beens and some hired-on muscle. I don't think so. It happened on hostile turf with a faction I'm at war with, but they're dead, so we're not at war anymore. And the turf isn't hostile anymore. Killing was involved, so I'm eating those too. But I think it's just the 2. Oh my god, I forgot about this thing again. In watching through this, every district, every neighborhood has special effects it has when you play. So if you're doing a job in Crowsfoot, like we are, years of murder have made this the most haunted district. Angry ghosts crave bloodshed here. You can take a devil's bargain for +1 dice for violent action, but the ghost will lash out too. I keep forgetting this is a thing, so when I'm like, I don't have anything, I could always go back on this, but I just keep forgetting it. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, we ate 1 heat because consequence of 2 more heat. They're all dead now. He's gone. I think that's it. Entanglements. What goes wrong now? Roll 1d6. 5. I have more than 6 heat. 5 is demonic notice or show of force. A demon approaches the crew with the dark offer, or hide until it loses interest, or deal with it another way. Jesus Christ. Or show of force. Faction with whom you have negative status makes a play against your holdings. Give them 1 claim or go to war. If you have no claims, lose 1 hold instead. Huh. Wow, this is really a terrible complication. We only have negative status with inspectors. So it would be the cops who come around making a show of force. We don't have any claims to give, so we'd lose 1 hold instead. It would reduce us to weak instead of stronghold, which is a big deal. Or the demon one, huh? Oh my god, that works, actually. That works. I know exactly who this demon is. So we have Hectyr and the 2 remaining boys sitting at their apartment on Murderer's Row. Murderer's Alley. You know, recovering, talking about the job, maybe remarking on the 2 turncoats from the week prior. There's a knock at the door. Now they're startled because their hideaway is supposed to be hidden. They have a lot of heat out on them, but come on. It can't be that bad. Thinking it's the cops. I think the 2 toadies, like, look at Hectyr for instruction or direction here, and Hectyr is the one to stand up out of this, like, worn secondhand armchair that's kind of falling apart. Like, pop his neck in that cliche tough guy fashion. Kind of, like, square himself up and then walk up to the door to open it. And he does. He opens the door, and, like, standing a head lower than him is a very ambiguous but feminine figure that we've seen before on Wednesdays. That we've seen before heading into the job that the Ghost Hunter crew, my Wednesday crew, have seen. This is a crossover episode. This figure has dark amber skin, dark hair. One of their eyes is a chromatic blue, the other is a chromatic yellow. Or gold. Not just yellow, but gold. They're very well toned. I think what I described them as looking at is like carved out of marble. And they're incredibly well dressed. They're wearing a suit, tailored suit, not a store suit. And Hectyr doesn't see this. And his gang doesn't see it. But people remembering the last episode of the Ghost Hunter crew will remember this person is fucking haunted. This person, he's definitely has a demon in them. The figure introduces themselves as Ambassador Kakakui, the ambassador of the Iruvian consulate. Mr. Hectyr, you've made quite a reputation for yourself. I have some business to talk, if you have the time. and it's an offer I'm sure you won't refuse. And I think we like fade to dark on that, or fade to black on that. The bullet points though for Hectyr are that this ambassador is currently overseeing a gala, weeks long, 3 weeks long expo of jewelry and fine arts at the embassy or the consulate, and Kakekui is positive that an attempt will be made to steal the rare artifacts and jewelry on display at the consulate. They're a little vague as to how, and that they don't talk about how they know it, just that they know it's going to happen. And I think they try to get Hectyr involved. Would Hectyr take it? Hectyr is stressed the fuck out. He's beat up. He's not rich on coin, but he's really not in a position to be going out and picking a fight right now. He's a force to be reckoned with. But yeah, I mean, his gang's eating a lot of heat. They really don't have a lot of coin. This isn't an illegal job he's being offered. This is to work as security, non-lethally, for an official foreign government agency. How does Hectyr feel about Iruvians? I mean, he's a native Akarosi, so he probably is mistrustful of them intuitively. It's a land of black sands, volcanoes, and demon lords. He's tired. He's exhausted. I think he would try to turn it down. But the ambassador would push. Would push with the kind of forcefulness that Hectyr is not used to receiving from other people. The way that Hectyr is forceful with his body, this figure, this ambassador, is forceful with words and kind of presence. I think that Hectyr would try to push back, but it'd be desperate. He's not in control here. He wants to look like he's in control here, but he's not in control here. This other person has talked him into a corner. Looks like they could take him in a fight, even if he weren't beat to hell. This person obviously occupies an important office, so he can't just disappear this person. This person probably could call the law down on them at any moment. This is a desperate position. And what effect is he going for? Limited. He's going for a limited effect. All he's trying to do is talk his way into being able to say no. Bonus dice. He's not pushing himself here. Not to the point of trauma. It's very tempting. I won't lie. It's very tempting to push that way. Devil's Bargain. He could offer Kakekui some coin, but that's almost insulting to the ambassador. The ambassador's rich. They wouldn't take coin. We could put rep on the line, but I think if we fail with this roll, the only way to say no is to lose rep. And getting more heat just isn't an option, so I think we just have to go with that. A 3. Yeah, 3 is a failure. But it was desperate, so, you know, mark XP. I think Hector's put in a position where he can't say no. He doesn't want to do this job. He doesn't want to work for this strange person he's never met before. But they are potent in a way that he can't say no to. They have this animal magnetism to them where he just can't say no. He doesn't like it. He's not comfortable with it. But he's gonna say yes. He and the rest of Hector's boys will be hired on for security for the remainder of this expo. Sure. Yeah. All right. Which means I get to introduce Hector as a character, throwaway, hopefully, character, and Wednesday. And I'm only doing yesterday and today, making up for 2 weeks of action. I'm not letting Hector get ahead of time of my Wednesday Ghost Hunter crew. So yeah, that was a terrible, holy shit, getting heat down is really important for entanglements. That was awful. Neither of those options were in any way good. Now he's got 2 downtime activities and 2 coin. So maybe a total of 4. Downtime activity number 1, Indulging Vice. Bonus die, none. Holy fuck, are you kidding me? Okay, we're gonna do that again. Jesus Christ. This is some terrible Vice rolls. Just terrible. So he's at the casino, right? And he's playing craps. He's coming up short. He's coming up short. He's coming up short. And I think he just doesn't... He can't enjoy it. He can't focus on the game. He can't kind of just let himself let go and let loose and get caught up in like the thrill of it. His mind is preoccupied with flashing back to being jumped in that alley, like his life jumping before his eyes. You know, he's like looking down at the table in front of him and like seeing the scars and cuts on his hands. When he breathes in to like make a joke or engage in some witty repartee with the other people at the table trying to gauge their poker face, you know, he feels the bruises on his chest as he like inhales fully. Maybe he has like a bruised lung or bruised rib, and like he feels it even when he's trying to distract himself. These physical ties to this pain are keeping him grounded and keeping him from really fully releasing the stress. He's not seriously injured, but we do need to reduce heat. And I think he's going around commanding just like before, because this is the only one I can make sense of using to try to reduce heat. Alright, a 4. On a 4, we reduce heat by 2. And I think he spends the remainder of the coin just trying that again. 1. Oh my god. This is horrible. So he personally is out of coin now. The gang, or the crew, still has 4 coin. I think, honestly, yeah, he's gonna indulge. He's gonna gamble. He has just accepted a bad job he doesn't want. It's down to 2 stress. That 8 a coin. We're gonna try and eat down this reputation even more. Oh my god, 1 coin for 1 heat is a terrible trade. That's not good enough yet. It's not low enough. 6. Oh my god. Where the fuck was that? Where the fuck was that this entire time? Okay, we're down to 1 heat. Burned a lot of coin. He's got cuts and scrapes, he's got light bruising, he could potentially go to a doctor, but that would cost the rest of our coin. You know what, honestly, yeah, he's gonna eat 1 coin and go to the doctor. Just gonna go to the doctor. I think this doctor rolls with a... I think I fucked this up before. It's a 3d6. Yeah, 3d6, not a 2d6, because he's vigorous. So roll 3d6. 1, 1, and a 4. A 4 is only 2 segments on this clock, so... that's the best we can get. We could spend the last coin to upgrade that. You know what, honestly, yeah. Gonna upgrade his treatment. Get rid of the cuts and scrapes. They'll heal. He's still gonna have bruises. His stress isn't completely gone, but it's pretty low. The heat isn't completely gone, but it's really low. They're all out of coin. But they're sitting on some pretty okay reputation right now. I think we'll probably end with Hectyr begrudgingly, with 2 of his boys standing outside of the Iruvian consulate here in Brightzone, one of the nicer parts of town. Standing at the door like he's oh my god, what do you call someone who stands outside of a bouncer? He's basically a bouncer, is the way he's having to look. He's just having to stand there and look imposing and scary while fine-dressed gentry walk past talking about the marvels that they're seeing inside, the spectacular jewelry and artifacts from this far distant land. And he's trying to scrutinize, you know, each one going past to make sure that he's gonna get paid, make sure that the goods stick around. I don't think Kakakui has told him specifically what to look out for, but Hectyr is essentially the head of security right now. Now, how is this gonna intersect with Wednesday? Let's talk about that now, because I've only been going for an hour, and I'm pretty much wrapped up with Hectyr. Hectyr will come into play as an NPC, probably unnamed, unless something goes very wrong. Hectyr... so the game plan for infiltrating the consulate right now is they found out that the last night of the expo, the consulate will shut down for cleaning. That before the final auction is held and the jewelry and artifacts given away or sold off, that the consulate shuts down, deep clean, make sure everything's ready for sale, a security sweep, and the crew is going to be doing this strike at some, at the last hour, right? He's going to be overseeing this sweep. Particularly, where we're going to start, I think, is Slip, Andy, or Eric here, Eric Pritchard, Slip, has gotten a job as a manual laborer, as he seems to always do, at the consulate. Maybe cleaning? Just trying to be the man on the inside. He's probably the one that'll try and, like, leave a door open so the rest of the crew can slip inside. So I think Slip might be likely to run into him. I'll probably set up a clock if they do choose to infiltrate rather than break in, which hopefully they will. Time until detection. And when detected, it'll be this. It'll be Hectyr. Probably Hectyr's boys first is who they'll run into. And then if the situation continues escalating, they'll run into Hectyr himself. Yeah. Yeah, hired on muscle. Yeah, absolutely. No, John, you can totally be watching this, because, again, there are no secrets here. My solo play character rolled a complication where I literally had a deal with a demon And the only demon I have established in the lore is the one that you're trying to steal from right now. So my player character just got hired on as head of security for the place you're trying to rob. And hopefully it won't come up, because hopefully you'll roll well, and I won't have to send the best killer this city has ever seen, to square off against... I was gonna jokingly say the best thieves this city has ever seen, but, you know, they're trying. They're trying. I think we'll do XP now. I think so. So Hectyr... Well, Hectyr's boys. Did they successfully execute an accident, disappearance, murder, or ransom? Barely. It was hoisted upon them. I mean, Hectyr got ambushed in an alley and survived. So there was murder. He was just hoping to do it some other way. Did he contend with challenges above his current station? Yeah, I mean, technically they were a tier 1 gang. Well, they were tier 0, so sure. Bolster their reputation? Yeah. Honestly, yeah, he murdered 6 people in a dark alley by himself. Did he express goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew? I think so a little bit. We got more inner conflict in the first episode with Hectyr, like, without blinking, killing 2 turncoats from his crew. But not so much this time. I think Hectyr's drive to survive and, like, goal for survival, kind of being a bit of a hard ass. We saw a bit of Hectyr pushing back, but I don't think that was indicative of the crew. Will roll well. If you roll sign on to Roll20, you're gonna hate my fucking rolls that I've had. I've had 1 failure. I've had 1 failure this entire time. I've gotten mostly just successes, crits, and like a few mixed successes. All of these bad command rolls are me trying to reduce heat and my character being really bad at it. But for the most part, it's just 6, 6, 6, 5, 6, 5, 5, 6. No, sorry, this one was a crit. Hectyr's gotten very lucky until this week. Hectyr wasn't so lucky this week. Hectyr survived this week. Alright, Hectyr's boys, they're done. How about Hectyr spend some of himself? Hectyr did a lot of desperate rolling this week, so got 4 XP from that. Addressed the challenge with violence and coercion, 2. Solid 2 for that. I think prowess makes sense here, but I kind of want to put it in resolve. Hectyr was faced this week, or today, with the realization he fucking does not have a good force personality. Not only did he have really limited failed attempt after attempt after attempt to bully people in the neighborhood to not go to the law to get his heat down, but he also got bullied by some fucking ambassador to accept a job he didn't want, and he didn't have the gravitas or means to say no. He was pushed into a corner and forced to do something he didn't want to do. So I think, yeah, these two XP, absolutely going into that. Did he express his beliefs, drives, heritage, or background? Background a little bit. You know, every time he fights, it feeds into his background, especially if we style it like him being intentional and strategic, tactical about his positioning. I talked about that a little bit. His beliefs and drives, we did see that a little bit with him trying to push back against the ambassador and failing. And I think that even shows his background a little bit. Hectyr, despite being the leader of a gang, is still a soldier in his bones. He's still conditioned to follow orders and respect authority from people with that kind of magnetism to them. So I think that was part of him failing to talk down this demonic ambassador, was a personal failing, not just a mechanical failing. So I think 2 for that, sure. And lastly, did we struggle with issues from vice or trauma? Not really. Not really. He gambled. We lost a lot of money gambling. So maybe we struggled a little bit because we lost so much from gambling. And it didn't even, like, fully fulfill him. I'm gonna be nice to myself. I'm gonna be nice to myself and say yes. And just mark this done and give him another point in command. Because he fucking needs it. Hectyr, if he's going to survive, needs to be able to deal with heat. And right now, heat is... it's draining all of his resources. It's draining all of the coin, and it's bordering on touching on the crew's reputation. And that is something I can't afford to do. So now we get to talk about some more fun things. Factions of Duskwall. Let's see here. Crows. Tier 0. Weak. An old gang. Recently wiped out. Once known for running illegal games of chance and extortion act, now only remembered as the namesake of Crow's Foot. Crow machine broke. Crow machine very broke. We killed the crows today. Fantastic. Wow. Yep, killed a faction. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't even keep them weak hold. They're dead. They're gone. They're gone entirely. So Crow's Foot is now gonna be a bit spicier. Oh, wait, let's take a sec to talk about that spiciness. As I wanna... Previously, we have the Lamp Blacks over here, the Red Sashes over here, and the Crows holding the middle ground here. Now, each of them were about as powerful as the others, but the Crows had the reputation of once controlling the entire district, and them being kind of the intermediates who tied everything together. There's literally a power vacuum in the heart of Crow's Foot now. The Lamp Blacks are free to push into Miser's Row and the Rookery itself, and the Red Sashes are free to push out of Cinder Heights into Bagley and again into the Rookery. So I think what we're going to see is, at least initially, a line being drawn through the district like this, where Crow's Foot is going to be divided between the Lamp Blacks on one side and the Red Sashes on another. And maybe Hectyr's boys up here in the Devil's Furnace, if he's able to hold off the other two. I think what Hectyr's going to be faced with is, in future sessions, Hectyr's going to be forced to politic with the Lamp Blacks and the Red Sashes and his... I don't want to say supporters, but the people paying him to destabilize the region more. These two were going to be keenly aware that Hectyr's boys had to do with offing the crows. Now, I don't think they're going to stand around and wait for that to happen a second time. The precinct is here. So we do have that going on. The Leaky Bucket is a tavern that's basically neutral territory. But yeah, Crow's Foot is... oh, it's just gonna get worse. That's fascinating. That's absolutely fascinating. Well, let's get these notes out of here, because it's not relevant to the Wednesday crew. That's not native to what they're... relevant to what they're doing. They ignore this district, which is why I'm focused mostly here. We might get a brief cameo on Wednesday, but that's really all I'm expecting. I think that's it. I think that's probably it. I don't have any more complications. I'm just going to look over these real quick to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah. Right, I should make notes. Score 2. Ambushed. set out to kill the rest of the crows, but was ambushed before the score could even start. 3 crows. No. The last 3 crows and 3 mercs are now dead. Hectyr's boys now hired to act as private security at the Iruvian consulate. And the thing is, he wasn't even hired. Just a fucking demon came in and was like, hey, I have an opportunity that you literally can't say no to. And I tried to say no to it, and I literally couldn't. So I don't even think he's getting paid for this shit. I think he's being mystiqued into it. I think there's some sort of weird stuff going on, so that might be an avenue that Wednesday crew could use to possibly... I think there's a lot of ways they could talk Hectyr into leaving, because Hectyr's not there out of any sense of loyalty. He's a self-serving man at his heart. I mean, he named his crew after himself. He's a selfish monster. Even though he's a terrifying creature, so long as they don't meet Hectyr with force, so long as they try to outmaneuver him in one of these places that he's really bad at, I think they can easily talk Hectyr down, maybe even talk Hectyr into helping them for, you know, a piece of the pot. Yeah, Hectyr is a no-but kind of complication to the PCs for Wednesday, I think, is the way I'm going to play him. He's going to seem at first like an obstacle, and if not engaged with, he will remain an obstacle. But I can imagine, off the top of my head, 3 or 4 different ways he could be made into an asset rather than an obstacle. Yeah, I like that. So it's been just over an hour. I wanted to go like 2 hours, but I got nothing. This is done. I can go start up on another score, but no, I'm 2 scores a match. Catch up with my players' 2 scores. But I do want to play something today. I don't know what yet. Not gonna be right now. I wanted to do this, then work out, then take a shower, then stream or play shit once people were awake, because I woke up super early today. Oh yeah, I think I will be back on later, maybe with some more dramatic reading of Das Kapital, or a little bit of Dishonored, maybe doing some pre-planning for Wednesday. We'll see. The day is young. If you're watching on YouTube, this is it for today. Until tomorrow, I'm going to say, well, tomorrow, probably next week for this series, I'm going to say toodaloo, take care, see you then, bye-bye.